wanted to make this outfit. So the first thing I did was make a shirtwaist pattern and ironed it. As you can see, a pin fell apart while ironing it. So next I sewed the shoulder seams together. So then that way I could, put in a sleeve, do all that fun stuff. Just making the pattern itself took like a week because I had to figure out how many pleats I wanted in it. And then at the end, this pattern was kind of sized awkwardly. Like, it worked, there was just too many pleats. Luckily I have a pattern that's like fewer pleats, so if I make this again, that's what I'll probably do. I am sewing the shoulder seam on the other side. I had to go really slow so then that way the pleats wouldn't unfold completely and the pleats in the shoulder seam would stay still. In this clip, I am sewing the sleeve together. As you can see, there are a ton of pins to make sure the pleats don't unfold. I used my normal back sloping pattern or slopo, and it kind of didn't fit all the way in the back, so it just doesn't sit properly. Here I am sewing the lining to the actual fabric. Back sloper pattern didn't fit properly because they were too small to accommodate the extra length that the pleats added overall. Was, however, the first pattern I made that actually included pleats. The other patterns I made before in like my last video was more so elongating something instead of, adding pleats to it. Throwing a fit because someone had to go to the store, so she's now barking because of it. So sorry if you can hear it, you probably can. I still think that this was like a really good pattern, or at least a really good try of making this sort of pattern, especially because I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of adding pleats. I was trying to get the shape I want, but I didn't, make a proper mark. The linen I was using for the lining actually could be ironed a lot harder than the actual fabric. So here I am actually making a collar. That's just fabric the size of the dolls, the fabric the length I wanted to, and I kind of sew so that it looks kind of curved. This made it look better, but I still kind of didn't like how it looked. It was just kind of too big. Here's what it looked like laid out flat. Here's what it looked like. And again, it was too big, so I had to fold it over. Here I was experimenting with if I wanted to use a cape or a capelet. I decided to go with capelet because I figured that looked better. The capelet I was modeling this capelet after was actually a historical outfit that actually fit the vibe of what I wanted. I also had overalls I made for another project that I would have linked above, so I used that. Here I am sewing the hem of the sleeves. Really, I find it a lot easier to do before they are connected. I actually went out and bought some gold trim because I thought that would look better. Here I am sewing the lining together, the lining and the outer layer, because I wanted it to have a lining, but I wasn't sure how to do this sleeve. Here you can kind of see the lining because I didn't iron it. Well, adding the gold trim really flattened it some, so that worked out. Here I am sewing the other sleeve together. For some reason the two sides of the sleeve wasn't matching up properly, so I kept having to go back, undo it, and then make it actually sew properly on both layers. As you can see, this took a lot of pins to do because it kept wanting to shift underneath the foot. Sew this like 3 times to get it to actually sew properly. Next up, I started making some accessories. Here's the felt. I'm going to use it to make a toolbox kit. Here's the felt, but I have it cut out. That was actually too big. Use it around the doll. You can even see the trim. As you can see, sewing the tripod was kind of wobbling a bit because of how fast I was going. Now I am just making the sword holder closer fitting to the sword. In this clip, I actually had the sword in the holder, which was kind of nerve-wracking. Now here are some of the tools I was making, and here are them painted. They are a sledgehammer, screwdriver, and torch. Now those are some antlers I am making. How I made them is I just put clay on a wire and then attached it to a hairpin and painted them. This is when they look like on. The Here is a finished project. I didn't get a lot of like Ludwig and format shots, but I did get a lot of like Instagram shots. So if you want to see them, you can see them there. Anyway, if you liked this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Here are some of the close-ups, like that's the torch, you can see the belt. Here's a necklace that's actually mine, and here are the antlers. I wish I made them a bit bigger.